Imagine you're holding this glass of water. At first, it won't be heavy, right? But what if I ask you to hold this glass of water in the same position for about 2 minutes? You'll be able to do it pretty easily, right? But what if I ask you to hold this glass of water for about an hour? Maybe you will feel some tingling sensation in your arm, a little bit of ache or pain. But what if I ask you to hold on to this glass in the same position for about an entire day or maybe a week? It's possible that you might experience some arm ache or even muscle spasm for that matter. Because the longer you hold on, the heavier it gets and the more it exhausts you. It's the same thing with toxic relationships. When you hold on to something which isn't nurturing you or helping you grow as a person, it can become more toxic in nature. Hi everyone, I'm Ekta and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to let go or how to know that it's time for you to let go. We all have been there in this situation at some point in our life where we've held on to someone or something for a very long time despite it not yielding us result or it not helping us grow. And it's actually your mind's fallacy. It's your mind's trick to keep you hooked. And it's called sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy is nothing but where you look at things from your past lens. Let's say, for example, if you've invested in a relationship where you've invested your time, your emotions, your energy, and your resources into this one person for years together, maybe for 3 months, for 3 years, or for 10 years altogether. But despite it not yielding you results or not really helping you grow or not really bringing the best to the table, you still continue to do that because you tend to look at your relationship from the past lens that, oh, I've invested so many years into this. I've invested my emotions into this relationship. Let me just stick to it maybe because what if things just get better in the process? This is what happens with our business as well, where you've invested so much of your money and resources into this one business for years together, thinking that one day it's going to yield me result. But it's just your mind's trick to keep you glued, and it only gets bitter in the process and not better. So it's very important for us to not operate from the past lens, to not operate from the sunk cost fallacy. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about how to understand whether it's time for us to let go and also give you some tools to help you outgrow that relationship, to help you move away from something that isn't helping you in the process. But before that, let me tell you that the answer is not straightforward, but here are some of the signs which will give you an indication that maybe it's time for you to just loosen up and let go. The first and foremost sign is to understand that if relationship brings more pain than joy, then it's time for you to reassess that relationship. Relationship should be a source of happiness, fulfillment, joy, peace, and calm, most importantly. But when I talk about happiness, it's also very important for you to understand that you should not let your happiness be derived from that relationship only. Of course, it is a source of your happiness, but not the only source. So don't just hang your hat on the relationship saying that, oh, this relationship has to make me feel happy. And if my relationship is not making me feel happy, I am absolutely down in the dumps and absolutely miserable. But there are some fundamental problems that are causing you to rethink or to reassess your relationship. Do you know that research also shows that prolonged negative emotions like anxiety, stress, sadness can lead to mental health issues as well? The simple analogy is that when the bad moments outweigh the good, it's a sign that your relationship is not serving your emotional health. So the best way to gauge whether your relationship is bringing good things to the table or no is by asking yourself whether your fundamentals are matching or not. Whether the basic necessities in a relationship such as bringing respect, honesty, joy, care, and love has been brought to the table or not. And if it's not, then it's time for you to, like I said, think through this. And I'm not at all saying that relationship fundamentals need to be matched to the T. It needs to be exactly the same, where your non-negotiables, your partner's non-negotiables are absolutely similar and aligned. Sometimes you both are poles apart. But for people who are poles apart and still want to be together, they both work together as a team. So despite putting all your efforts, if you still see that the relationship is not moving in the right direction, or maybe you see the discrepancy between the action and the thought, then yes, you need to consider letting go. Now, while we're talking about the efforts, it takes me to our second point, which is you feel that you're the only one who's constantly putting the efforts, putting the hard yards in. The Journal of Social and Personal Relationships states that the imbalance in effort can create emotional burnout. But here's the catch. A lot of times we fail to see the effort. We feel that we are the only person who's putting in the efforts, and we are so used to see things in a certain way. And a lot of it depends upon our love language, the way we perceive love. Now, let's say, for example, if your partner is someone who shows love in the form of acts of service. Let's say your partner gets you your favorite food, makes you a nice hot cup of coffee or a tea during your long, tiring day, gives you a massage without asking for it, or cooks your favorite meal. Now, because your partner's love language is acts of service, but your love language and the way you understand love is through physical touch, is through intimacy. It's when you cuddle with your partner, you share the intimacy with each other. Now, while your partner is doing all that is required to show love, it gets very difficult for you because the language that you both use to show love is very, very different. And this whole game can give you an illusion that you're not loved, you're not appreciated. So, a mismatched love language can really, really take a toll. But before you get this false impression that your relationship is at the brink, it's extremely imperative for you to communicate with your partner about your love language. And despite a clear communication about this and there's still some discrepancy, of course, it's time for you to let go. Because relationship is a two-way street, and if you think that you're the only person who's putting the effort, then it can feel like you're trying to fill a bucket with hole in it. Which takes me to our third point, which is loss of trust, respect, or let's say loss of fundamentals in a relationship. According to Psychological Bulletin, trust is the most important factor in a relationship. And if you think that you cannot trust your partner enough, or your partner are always feeling sus about you and is not able to trust you completely and fully, then that's a red flag, of course. Because to be very honest, without trust, you always have this sense of insecurity, this sense of suspiciousness that, oh, I don't know what exactly is happening. And it can completely ruin the peace of your relationship. Then comes the point number 4, which is also another sign that it's time for you to let go, which is you cannot be yourself. If you feel that you're constantly walking on eggshells, or you have to bend over backwards to love the other person, or you have to literally change yourself to be accepted, then do you think that relationship is even the right one for you? If you think you cannot be your authentic self, where you can't be vulnerable, you can't share your inner feelings, or maybe you feel that, oh, there could be some judgment on the plate if you share something, or maybe your partner might dismiss it, ignore it, or make you feel unheard in the event where you share something very, very deep. A lot of times people also bend over backwards, or maybe they compromise in a relationship because they come from a space of lack, where they feel that, what if I let go of this relationship, I let go of this partner, and I might not find someone as good as this person. But think about the fact that staying in a toxic relationship will bring you more harm than good. There are billions of people out there that you can match up with. Don't let this sunk cost fallacy try to overpower you and dominate your decisions. Because a lot of times when you're walking on eggshells for a longer period of time, it can really make you feel more resentful towards yourself. Not just resentful towards your partner, but you start resenting yourself. There's this anger that you start to harbor inside of you towards that person, towards yourself, because you just don't allow yourself to be who you are, and you become someone you can't even recognize. Which takes me to our 5th point, which is lack of personal growth and stagnancy. Studies in development psychology emphasizes that a healthy relationship fosters personal development. As an adult, we all strive for growth. We all strive for getting better every single day. In fact, every single year, we try to become a different person altogether by shedding our old skin and wearing the new one. Or if you don't wear a new one, you at least try to embellish the old one so that you can level up your game. Now, what happens in a toxic relationship is that when you as a person, you had a certain habit, you had a certain style and approach towards life. But because you want to keep growing as a person, you let go of your old skin, you keep wearing a new one to level up your game. But if your partner is someone who doesn't strive to get better, or maybe is always staying in their own comfort zone, not trying to outgrow their old habits, their old approach, their old behavior, their belief systems that are kind of hindering the process, hindering the relationship, or kind of hampering their own personal growth, then a lot of times this discrepancy can create a lot of ruckus in a relationship, where one of the partners says that, oh, you are not the person you were back then when we had met. But they fail to understand that every single moment you have to keep getting better. You have to keep leveling up your game, your life, so that you can keep matching each other in every seasons of your life. Because remember, relationships should act as a catalyst for personal development and self-development, and not an anchor to keep you stagnant. Now, recognizing these signs and letting go are completely two different things. It can be very difficult to let go, especially when you've shared your nitty-gritties, your emotional intimacy, your physical intimacy, or your vulnerabilities with this person. And it can get very difficult because somewhere at the back of your mind, you feel as if I have to start all over again from the scratch and I do not have the bandwidth. But no, that it's just an opportunity for growth, and it will only liberate you from the negative loop, because letting go can feel like losing a part of you, losing an identity that you had for a very long time. So here are some of the strategies which can truly help you. Number one, acceptance. Acceptance is the beginning of your healing journey. I know it's easier said than done, especially when your life has been so intertwined with each other. It's very difficult to accept the fact that you've lost this part of you, and to accept that there is this big void and you don't know how to fill this. But as Steve Maraboli once said, that letting go means to come to a realization that some people are a part of your life but not a part of your destiny. So accept the fact that it's completely okay to let go, because sometimes societal stigma, or maybe what people tell you and shape you or shape your thoughts, that it's okay to latch on even if it's toxic, because you don't know what tomorrow brings, or maybe this fear of uncertainty can make you feel stuck in that loop. But accept the fact that some relationships are not meant to last. Sometimes you just need to let go of what you've been holding on, not for someone else, but for you, so that you can liberate yourself from this pain, from this daily drama, with this daily toxicity. Also, acceptance and commitment therapy says that focusing on your emotions rather than fighting against it is more like walking with the wind rather than against the wind. So accept your emotions that you're experiencing right now. You might experience chronic sadness, depression, loneliness, or even anxiety for that matter due to the uncertainty. But some mindfulness practice can actually help you stay grounded, can really keep you solid during that emotional turbulence. So sit with yourself, journal your emotions, see how are you feeling right now. If something is really toxic and you've been matching all the signs that we discussed, it's important for you to sit through this, like I said, and to process these emotions, and allowing yourself to focus on other areas of your life rather than burying yourself in this toxicity and drama. So indulging into some journaling, meditation, or even seeking professional help can actually help you get out of this whole fix. Number two is practicing some self-care. According to research by Dr. Kristin Neff, self-compassion can reduce guilt and even self-criticism. Because when you try to let go of a toxic relationship, you can feel a bit more guilty for standing up for yourself, for speaking for yourself, for protecting your peace. It's only because we've always been taught to take care of someone else. It's because we've been taught to let go of our own needs, our emotions, and prioritize someone else. So do things that bring you joy, that bring you peace. Only then the entire process of letting go will become easier. So whenever it is that you experience negative emotions, or you experience toxic emotions towards your own self, or towards the person, or towards the entire situation that you've been, try to reframe your negative thoughts and focus on the positive ones by asking yourself that why did you choose to let go? What were some of the downsides, and why it is very important for you to stand up for yourself and speak for what you feel like. So instead of focusing on what went wrong, what could have been right, or maybe getting into this whole self misery and self guilt kind of a situation, shift your mindset and ask yourself, what did you learn from this experience? And how can you apply this going forward in your life? Then comes number three, that is, do not isolate yourself. We all need social circle. We all need people in our life, because we meant to be in community. So seek professional help, or create a social capital where you can rely on people who can become your social support. Remember, letting go does not mean that you failed as a person. A lot of times, a failed relationship can make you feel as if you have failed as a person. Don't let these two different areas of your life like intertwine each other and give a definition to who you are as a person. Standing for yourself, letting go of what's been toxic for you simply means that you are a strong person, you care for yourself, and you know what's best for you. And as the saying goes, sometimes letting go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. And being in an unhealthy relationship can feel like you're sitting on a boat with a small leak. Initially, you might ignore it, where you don't understand the damage it might cause over a period of time. Initially, the leak doesn't seem to cause much of a trouble for you. But as the time passes, the boat starts to fill with water. And if the leak isn't fixed, the boat will definitely and eventually sink. And as Oprah Winfrey once said, that you don't have to be a victim of your history, but rather rewrite your story. And that's all for today. I hope this video really helped you. Know that it's okay to grieve, it's okay to feel the pain, but also at the same time, it's okay to let go of something that really did not help you become the person you wanted to become. It's okay to choose your happiness, because you deserve it. Letting go does not make you feel weak. It simply means that you really care for your well-being. And that's a sign of a high value person, because every goodbye is the beginning of a new character, a new chapter of your life. So hope this really helps. If you really like this video, please make sure to like, share and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section below if you want me to create a video on something. And please make sure to share this video with someone who might find it really useful. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.